The baby shower was perfect, like something out of a Pinterest board. Blush pink and gold balloons, a dessert table that looked too beautiful to eat, and little games with prizes racked and tall. I stood in the corner, holding my gift, a handmade quilt I'd spent 3 months creating, each square representing a milestone in my daughter Olivia's life. "Can I have everyone's attention?" Olivia clinked her champagne flute, filled with sparkling cider, against her wedding ring. The backyard full of guests turned toward her, all smiles and anticipation. My heart swelled with pride. My baby girl, 27 years old, married, successful in her marketing career, about to become a mother herself. Everything I'd worked for, everything I'd sacrificed, had led to this moment. "I just wanted to thank everyone for coming," Olivia began, her hand resting on her 7-month bump. "And I have a special announcement to make." I straightened up, thinking perhaps she'd reveal the baby's name or thank me for planning the shower. Even though her stepmother Carolyn had taken credit for the organization, I'd done most of the actual work, sending invitations, coordinating catering, assembling party favors during my lunch breaks. "As you all know, family is everything to me," Olivia continued, "and I'm so grateful that my baby will have such an amazing grandmother." I smiled, ready for the acknowledgement. "Carolyn," Olivia turned to where my ex-husband Mark's wife sat in a place of honor, "you're going to be the real grandma to this baby. Thank you for showing me what it means to prioritize family. Unlike some people, you were always there, never too busy with work to show up." The words hit me like a physical blow. I gripped my gift tighter, the fabric of the quilt rough against my suddenly sweaty palms. Olivia wasn't done. My mom never had time for us growing up. Always at the hospital, always on call, always missing the important moments. "But Carolyn, you showed me what a real mother looks like. Someone who puts family first. And I know you'll be the grandmother my baby deserves." The backyard fell silent except for the awkward shifting of guests who knew our family history. My sister Claire shot me a horrified look from across the garden. Even some of Olivia's friends looked uncomfortable. I set my gift down on the nearest table, picked up my purse, and walked out. No scene, no tears. Just a quiet exit from my daughter's perfect baby shower where I'd been publicly designated as the grandmother who wouldn't matter. The drive home was a blur. I made it to my apartment before the shaking started. 27 years. 27 years of working double shifts as an ER physician to provide for Olivia after Mark left us for his secretary, now his wife Carolyn. Never had time for us. I laughed bitterly, pacing my living room. I thought about all those missed moments Olivia referenced. Yes, I'd missed some school plays while saving lives in the emergency room. Yes, I've been late to parent-teacher conferences because traumas don't follow school schedules. Yes, there were birthday parties where I showed up still in scrubs, exhausted from a 36-hour shift. But I was also the one who held her through every illness, who paid for her college without a single loan, who worked extra shifts to afford her dance classes, her piano lessons, her study abroad program in Paris. I was the one who made sure she had everything she needed, even if it meant I went without. And Carolyn had swooped in when Olivia was 15, when the hard work was done, when the sleepless nights with a colicky baby were over, when the endless driving to activities was finished, when the expensive years of raising a child had passed. Carolyn got to be the fun stepmom with her part-time real estate job and her flexible schedule. She got to attend afternoon recitals and weekend tournaments because someone else, me, was paying the bills. My phone buzzed. "Claire." "Jenna, what the hell was that? I'm about to go full auntie on your daughter." "Don't," I said tiredly. "Let her have her moment." Her moment of what? Publicly humiliating the woman who sacrificed everything for her. She's made her choice. Carolyn is going to be the real grandmother. I'm just the one who was never there. "Jenna, I need to go, Claire. I'll call you later." I hung up and did what I always did when life hurt too much. I dove into work. But this time, I also dove into my finances. The college fund I'd started the day Olivia was born contributed to faithfully even when it meant I ate ramen for dinner, closed and transferred to my retirement account. The savings account earmarked for baby expenses, the one I'd been building to help with the astronomical costs of childcare, redirected to a vacation fund. I'd always wanted to see Greece. The check I'd written for the daycare deposit at the prestigious center near Olivia's house. Canceled. The nursery furniture set I'd ordered as a surprise to be delivered next week. Order canceled, full refund requested. The family health insurance plan that still covered Olivia because I'd kept her on as a dependent, she'd be removed at the next enrollment period. Every financial tie, every plan support, every safety net I'd quietly maintained, gone. If Carolyn was going to be the real grandmother, she could handle the real costs too. Monday came with its usual chaos at the hospital. I threw myself into my work, the one place where my presence mattered, where being there made a difference between life and death. It was Tuesday evening when my phone exploded with calls. First Olivia, then Mark, then a number I didn't recognize. I was in the middle of suturing a particularly nasty laceration and ignored them all. During my break, I listened to the first voicemail. Olivia, panicked. Mom, the daycare called. They said the deposit check bounced. That's not possible. Can you call me back? Mark, angry. Jenna, what's this about canceling the nursery furniture? Olivia's in tears. The boutique called to say the order was canceled and the items are no longer available. The unknown number revealed to be Olivia's husband, Paul. Mrs. Thompson, I'm sorry to bother you, but Olivia's really upset. Could you please call us back? We don't understand what's happening with the daycare and the furniture. She's 7 months pregnant and the stress isn't good for her. Paul. Sweet Paul, who had no idea his wife had just publicly dismissed the woman funding their child's future. I called him back. Paul, hello, I got your message. Oh, thank God, Mrs. T. Olivia's beside herself. The daycare is saying we never paid the deposit, but she swears you were handling it. And the nursery furniture. Yes, I canceled both. Silence. Then, I'm sorry, what? Why? Didn't Olivia tell you? Carolyn is going to be the baby's real grandmother. The one who prioritizes family. I assumed she'd want to handle these grandmother duties as well. Mrs. T, I don't understand. Ask your wife about her speech at the baby shower. About how I never had time for her. About how Carolyn showed her what a real mother looks like. Then ask yourself why someone who was never there would be expected to pay for daycare. She said what? His voice was sharp now, confused. Paul, you're a good man. But your wife made it very clear that I'm not the grandmother who matters, so I'm stepping back and letting the real grandmother step up. Mrs. Stee, we can't afford. The daycare deposit alone is $3,000. The furniture was another $4,000. We budgeted thinking. You budgeted thinking I'd cover it. Like I've covered everything for 27 years while being told I was never there. This has to be a misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding. Olivia was very clear. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have patients to attend to. You know, the job that kept me too busy to be a real mother. I hung up and went back to work. The next few days were a masterclass in consequences. Olivia called repeatedly, leaving increasingly frantic voicemails. Mom, please call me back. The daycare gave our spot to someone else. Mom, Paul told me what you said. That's not what I meant at the shower. Mom, we can't find nursery furniture anywhere that will deliver before the baby comes. Mom, please, I'm stressed and the doctor says my blood pressure is elevated. That last one almost got me. Almost. But then I remembered standing in that backyard, holding a quilt made with love, listening to my daughter erase 27 years of sacrifice in favor of a woman who'd been around for 12. Mark called next, his voice tight with barely controlled anger. Jenna, this is ridiculous. You're punishing Olivia for a few poorly chosen words. Poorly chosen. She planned that speech, Mark. She stood up at an event I helped organize and told everyone that Carolyn was the only mother figure who mattered. She was trying to make Carolyn feel included. By excluding me. By dismissing everything I did. Tell me, Mark, where was Carolyn when Olivia had pneumonia at age 3? When she needed emergency surgery at 7? When she cried for a week straight after you left us? That's not fair. No, what's not fair is working myself to the bone for 27 years only to be told I was never there. What's not fair is being erased in favor of your wife who got to play mommy after all the hard work was done. So you're going to what? Abandon your daughter when she needs you most. I'm giving her what she asked for. A grandmother who prioritizes family. Carolyn prioritizes family, right? So let her prioritize this. Carolyn can't afford to be the grandmother she's been playing at being? How interesting. The real explosion came Saturday morning. Olivia showed up at my door, 7 months pregnant and furious. How could you? She demanded, pushing past me into my apartment. How could you cancel everything without telling me? How could you stand up at your baby shower and tell everyone I was an absent mother? I countered, closing the door calmly. I didn't say absent. You said I never had time for you, that I was always too busy with work, that Carolyn showed you what a real mother looks like. I was trying to honor her. By dishonoring me, Olivia sank onto my couch, her anger deflating. I didn't mean it that way. Stop saying that. You meant exactly what you said. You've been saying it in little ways for years. Every time you thanked Carolyn for being at some event and pointedly didn't thank me for paying for it. Every time you posted on social media about your bonus mom who chose to love you while I was working to keep you fed and housed. Mom, do you know why I missed your junior high production of Annie? Because you were working. Because a 6-year-old came in coding. Car accident. I was the only doctor available who could save her. So yes, I chose to save a life over watching you sing tomorrow, and you've held it against me ever since. Tears were streaming down Olivia's face now. That's not. I didn't know. You didn't ask. You just let Carolyn convince you that I was a bad mother because I had a demanding career. Never mind that career paid for everything you had. Mom, I'm sorry. I know you are. You're sorry because the daycare spot is gone and the furniture is canceled and suddenly the grandmother who was never there is the only one who could actually provide for your child. That's not why, isn't it? Tell me, Olivia. If I reinstate everything right now, pay for the daycare, buy new furniture, continue being your financial safety net, what changes? Do I suddenly become the real grandmother, or do I go back to being the one who works too much while Carolyn gets the credit? She couldn't answer. Here's what's going to happen, I continued. You're going to figure this out with your husband and your real grandmother. You're going to learn what it actually costs to raise a child. And maybe, just maybe, you'll understand that being there isn't just about showing up to recitals. It's about working doubles to pay for the recital costume. It's about missing a recital because you're saving lives to afford the recital lessons. Mom, please. The baby. We'll be fine. You have a good husband, a decent job, and a stepmother who prioritizes family. You'll figure it out. I did, with far less support and a toddler to raise alone. Olivia left, still crying. I felt no satisfaction, only a deep, bone-weary sadness. The next 2 weeks were a cascade of family drama. Claire read Olivia the riot act. My mother, usually neutral, told Olivia she was ashamed to have a granddaughter who could be so cruel. Paul, caught in the middle, tried to mediate but was clearly struggling with his new understanding of his wife's character. And Carolyn? Carolyn was conspicuously silent. Until she wasn't. She called on a Tuesday afternoon. Jenna, she started, her voice lacking its usual artificial warmth. We need to talk about this situation. What situation? You're the real grandmother. Handle it. You know I can't afford. Can't afford what? To be the grandmother you've been pretending to be. To actually support the family you claim to prioritize. That's not fair. Mark and I have our own expenses. So did I, a mortgage, student loans, a child to raise alone. Didn't stop me from providing everything Olivia needed. This is petty. This is reality. You wanted the title without the responsibility. You wanted to be the fun grandma who shows up for photos while I handle the bills. Not anymore. She's your daughter. And according to her, you're her real mother figure. So figure it out. I hung up on her, something I'd wanted to do for 12 years. The breaking point came 3 weeks later. Olivia was 8 months pregnant, stressed and desperate. The daycare situation was a disaster. Every good place had wait lists, and the ones available were either too expensive or too far from her work. Without my connections in the community, she was just another name on a list. Paul called me, and for the first time he was angry. Not at me, at his wife. I need you to know something, he said. I didn't know. About the shower, about what she said. I was in the garage with the guys, helping set up. I only found out when my mother told me. She was appalled. Paul. No, please let me finish. I've spent 3 weeks watching my pregnant wife scramble to fix problems she created. Watching her expect Carolyn to step up and seeing Carolyn make excuses. Watching her slowly realize that the mother she dismissed is the only one who actually supported her. What do you want me to say? Nothing. I want you to know that I see you. I see what you did for Olivia, and I'm sorry my wife doesn't. Is she taking care of herself? The stress. She's okay. Her blood pressure is better. Her mom, her dad, and Carolyn, they finally contributed some money for a cheaper daycare. Not what you had arranged, but it'll work. Good. Mrs. T. I grew up with a single mom too. Worked 2 jobs, missed some stuff, but never missed the important things, like making sure I had what I needed. Olivia, she confused presents with presents, but I think she's starting to understand the difference. That evening, Olivia called. Her voice was different, subdued. Real? Mom, I know you probably don't want to talk to me. I'll always talk to you, Olivia. You're my daughter, even if I'm not the grandmother who matters. You are, she said quietly. You're the only one who matters. I was stupid and cruel. And I bought into this idea that love looks like showing up to every event with a camera and posting about it on Facebook. Carolyn was always there because she could be. You weren't because you were working. For me, for us. I didn't respond, letting her work through it. Do you know what Carolyn said when I asked her to help with the daycare deposit? She said they couldn't afford it because they're renovating their kitchen. Their kitchen, Mom, while I'm trying to figure out how to afford care for their grandchild. I see. No, you saw it all along. That she was performative. That her prioritizing family only extended to the fun parts. Not the hard parts. Not the expensive parts. Not the sacrificial parts. What do you want from me, Olivia? Nothing, she said, surprising me. I mean, God, yes. I need help. Paul and I are drowning trying to figure this out on our income alone. But that's not why I'm calling. I'm calling because I need my mom. My real mom. The one who worked 36-hour shifts and still made it to my high school graduation. The one who taught me strength even if I was too blind to see it. Olivia. I'm calling because I'm about to become a mother and I'm terrified. Because I don't know how to do what you did. How to sacrifice without making your child feel guilty. How to provide without keeping score. How to love someone so much that you'll work yourself to exhaustion just to give them opportunities. You'll learn, I said softly. Every mother does. Will you teach me? Not Carolyn with her Pinterest-perfect ideas of motherhood. You, the woman who actually did it. We talked for 2 hours. About motherhood, sacrifice, the weight of providing, the exhaustion of being everything to a tiny person who depends on you. About how love sometimes looks like missing the dance recital because you're stitching up someone else's child in the ER. I have something for you, I said finally. Your baby shower gift. I never got to give it to you. The quilt, she whispered. Aunt Claire told me about it, said you'd worked on it for months. Every square is a memory. Your first Christmas, your first day of school, your college acceptance letter. All the moments I was there for, even if you don't remember them all. She was crying again. Can I come see it? Can we start over? We can try. It wasn't instant. Trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild. But slowly, carefully, we began again. Olivia would come over, and I'd teach her what I knew about babies, about motherhood, about surviving on no sleep and too much caffeine. I helped with the baby expenses, not as much as I'd originally planned, but enough. More importantly, I helped with the knowledge, the support, the 3 a.m. phone calls when the baby wouldn't stop crying. Carolyn faded into the background, showing up for scheduled visits and photo opportunities, but never for the hard nights or difficult decisions. The baby came on a Tuesday, of course, while I was at work. But this time, I was able to leave, to be there when my granddaughter entered the world. Olivia grabbed my hand in the delivery room. Mom, she said through the pain, I need you. I need my mom. I'm your baby. I'm always here, even when it looks like I'm not. Later, as I held my granddaughter for the first time, Olivia said quietly, I want her to know her grandmother, her real grandmother. The one who saves lives and sacrifices everything and loves beyond measure. She will, I promised. I'm naming her after you, she added. If that's okay, Jenna Marie, after the strongest woman I know. I cried then, 27 years of complicated love, misunderstanding, and sacrifice, wrapped up in a tiny person with my name. Mom, Olivia said, I'm sorry it took me so long to see you, really see you. You see me now, I said, handing her the baby. That's what matters. And it was. Not the public declaration at the baby shower. Not the years of feeling unseen, but this moment in a hospital room that smelled like my second home, with 3 generations of women who understood that love sometimes wears scrubs and works double shifts and misses recitals to save for futures. That's what real grandmothers do. They show up when it counts, even if it's not always when you want them to. Especially then.